Hello, welcome back to the Project Hercules Diaries on a typical Friday night in the garage. There's a cup of tea on top of the Walco. It's there for two reasons. Number one, when I'm operating lathes and mills and that kind of thing, I tend to stay off the source. But if I'm just twiddling spanners on bikes, then I don't mind having a beer. And also, if I've got something quite wrong, when I turn the machine on, if your cup of tea starts looking like that, you know that something's out of balance and it's a good idea to check. So what am I doing at the moment? Well, on the bike over here, filmed from the stool of contemplation, you can see that the starter motor's in. It engages nicely with here. We've done a little bit of a test with both of them connected together, and they do tend to fight. So just running off this starter motor with the 48 tooth sprocket on the bottom. So we've got 9 teeth to 49, and then we've got 19 teeth to 48, and if you work all that out, you get the ratio. It's something like 1 to 14 reduction. It still isn't enough to bowl the engine over top dead center, even with that reduction. So the easiest way to reduce that further, which is probably what we're going to have to do, is to put a different sprocket on the front. That's why I've taken the breather off. So a bigger sprocket on the front there, just to reduce that ratio. I've purchased two. One of them is on the Walco here, and it's got a nice kind of black finish. I'm not quite sure why. It's a Dunlop sprocket, so it's another quality rubber part. This is the 48 tooth that was on the end of the crank, and you can see there that that's just by comparison slightly bigger. And then I've also got a 65 tooth gear, which is even bigger than this, comes out to about there. We didn't go 76 because that's a bit excessive, so we can go to, I think, 16 to 1 and 18 to 1 respectively, or 1 to 18, and hopefully those will be enough. So what I'm doing this evening, I'm just machining this sprocket down. This is the one that came off the end of the crank. I need to open out the center to exactly 1 inch so that the pulley, the nose in the pulley, fits inside there. Waste out the back a little bit just to move it closer to the engine for chain alignment, and then drill the 4 holes so it bolts to the pulley. Have I got the pulley in here? Yes, I have. Stand by. Here is the pulley. So you can see we've machined down the pulley. The pulley bolts on from the outside of the engine, and that bolts over the sprocket there, which noses onto the pulley, and that bolts straight onto the end of the crankshaft. So what we need to do is to do exactly the same thing, only I've got it the wrong way around. It goes that way around. That's how it goes, just to get the sprocket a little bit closer to align the chain. Oh, you can never do this one. There we go. So that's how it goes. So that just moves the sprocket slightly further in. It moves the pulley slightly further in as well to align everything together. So we've got to make the new sprocket, so it's got this recess in here. Take out the bore to 1 inch and drill 4 holes. Shouldn't take too long. I might get that done tonight, but it's already what, 9:45, and generally when Gardener's World finishes at 10 o'clock, it's time to go inside and sit with my good lady for a bit. So that's generally what happens on a Friday night. Ploughing stuff and making swarf on the Walco, unless of course there's a bike rally on, in which case one of the bikes goes to a rally, usually the Guzzi, because that's the rally bike and the black bike is the work bike. So that's where we're at the moment. So with a following wind by the end of tomorrow, we've probably got 3 options for trying to start the bike at different reduction ratios. We have calculated the final speed, and at the assuming that is indeed giving us 3000 RPM, there will be enough rotational speed at the camshaft to energize the spark for each one of those different ratios. And similarly, we won't be over speeding the Dynastart, which is going to be used as a dynamo to charge the battery. So it's all looking good in theory, but of course everything works in theory, doesn't it? It's putting it in practice that's the hard part of it. So that's where we're at. As usual, thank you for watching. More updates will follow.